magic on. With me she'd say everything you want to dream away. We are legends every day. That's what she told me. Turn your magic on. To me she'd say everything you want to dream away. Under this pressure, under this weight, we are diamonds, and I feel my heart beating. I feel my heart underneath my skin. I feel my heart beating. You make me feel like I'm alive again. Said I can't go on, not in this way. I'm a dream that died by light of day. Gonna hold up half the sky and say, only I own it. And I feel my heart beating. I feel my heart underneath my skin. Oh, I can feel my heart beating. 'Cause you make me feel like I'm alive again. Alive again. Oh, you make me feel like I'm alive again. Turn your magic on. She'd say everything you want to dream away. Under this pressure, under this weight, we are diamonds taking shape. We are diamonds.
Testing, testing, 1, 2. If you are in the hallway, we're getting ready to get started. Please come on in. We got about 30 seconds, and we're going to get started. I know we're excited because the Tigers are playing. I know. This is better.
Of course.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Oh, I know you can make more noise than that. Good evening, everyone. Much better. Give yourself a big round of applause for coming out for the first inaugural, our Mayor, Lori Stone's State of the City Address. My name is Olu Jabari. I am one of the community outreach directors, along with Rhonda Hall. We are happy you are here. There are folks who are tuning in on TV stream Live Warren, and we welcome you as well. Just want to let you know that this is going to be something exciting. We're glad you're here, and we look forward to you supporting what the City of Warren does. And now I'm going to bring up the president of the Warren City Council. For the last 5 years, she's been in the City of Warren doing some good in the Warren neighborhood. So let's give a big round of applause for Ms. Angela Rogansey.
Good evening, everyone. So first and foremost, I want to say go Tigers. huge fan of Detroit sports and a underdog. So last I heard, it was 1-0. Oscar, is that still the score? Okay, 1-0. So thank you so much for joining us tonight for the State of the City. It's truly a privilege to stand here as president of the City Council and to have the opportunity to introduce Mayor Lori Stone. Before we begin, I also wanted to note that we have been not only on the sports spotlight, but Warren is ground zero for the up-and-coming presidential campaign. We've had a president and vice president candidate coming tomorrow through Warren. And our police department and the whole administration has done a tremendous job to make sure everyone attends those events safely. So just wanted to give us a pat on the back, but also thank our first responders and public servants. As we gather tonight, we celebrate more than just the achievements and progress of our city. We are here to recognize the collective power of our community, united by a common purpose. The theme Mayor Stone picked out for tonight is Working Together for Warren, which reflects an essential truth about what it takes to make a city thrive. Working together is not an easy task. Most people here that work within the city would be able to reflect that. We have various perspectives, priorities, concerns about approach, all make it even more complicated to march together for the common good. However, we continue to prevail. Barack Obama once said, "We may not be able to stop all the evil in the world, but I know that how we treat one another in government and beyond is entirely up to us." Democracy is hard work, and I feel eternally grateful to be an active participant in it. Success is never the work of one individual, one department, or one administration. It's the result of all of us, residents, business owners, city employees, and elected officials coming together. In my time on City Council, I have seen firsthand how powerful it can be when we join forces to tackle community problems, whether it's responding to emergencies, addressing infrastructure needs, or launching community programs. It's the partnerships we build that enable us to make a difference. And as the third largest city in Michigan, Warren faces unique opportunities and challenges. To meet them, we must lean on each other, respect each other's perspectives, and collaborate with open minds and open hearts. And so we look to the future. As we look to the future, let us remember that each of us has a role to play in making Warren the best it can be. Let us pledge to work together, to listen, to act, to support one another, because when we come together, there's nothing we can't accomplish. Before I introduce our fearless leader, I do want to acknowledge my two City Council colleagues that are here tonight, Vice President Melody McGee and my esteemed colleague, Councilmember Jonathan Lafferty, both of whom I call colleagues and friends. With that, it is my great honor to introduce a leader who believes in the power of unity and who has dedicated herself to the growth and prosperity of our city. Please join me in welcoming our Mayor, Lori Stone.
Good evening, and thank you. Thank you for joining me for the 2024 State of the City. And thank you to all the local restaurants that provided a little sampling of what is uniquely Warren about the flavor of Warren. So many, yes. So many good things happening in our city. It is my distinct honor and pride to be serving the community that elected me, who I work for tirelessly every day, to provide an overview of the state of the city as one aspect of transparency and accountability in government. Tonight's event is located here at Warren Community Center, free and open to the public. We worked to reduce barriers and make it an inclusive event. When I was elected nearly a year ago, I committed to work together to make Warren a better place to live, work, play, and grow. Working together looks like empowering departments to collaborate and find solutions. Working together looks like finding common ground with City Council to address city needs and services, such as agreeing on a city assessor and collectively coming up with a budget that will work well for our community. Working together looks like reaching out across levels of government, county, state, and federal, to identify funding revenue sources to assist in funding community projects. When I set forth, my commitment to the community was to produce a fiscally responsible budget, fix roads, pipes, and everything in between, invest in a safer city, revitalizing parks and recreation, fueling our economy and ecosystem, and environmental sustainability. The first task was to build a team. Starting by restructuring the mayor's office, I named Christina Lodovisi as my chief of staff. Christina brings skills and experiences that complement my own, and as a resident, she is invested in improving our community. Next was assembling a dynamic team to address constituent services. Judy, Aisha, and Pat, they're the ones who will greet you at the window, answer your calls and emails, help solve problems, research solutions, direct requests to the appropriate departments, and connect residents with resources. They keep myself informed on the needs of the community, and my time in the state legislature prepared me for the importance of providing outstanding constituent services that our community has come to expect. Our office has developed a system for handling casework, and we receive well over 300 requests for assistance in a month. We couldn't deliver on those requests without the amazing leadership and the awesome dedication of our city employees. Not to mention all the other daily operations of the mayor's office, organizing commission appointments and communicating city business to city council. Another essential function in the mayor's office is community outreach. Effective government is the result of community engagement and participation. Rhonda and Olu are responsible for organizing events to engage residents, connecting with businesses, creating opportunities to build awareness, educate, and inform residents. Working together, they have organized 14 listening session events on policy priorities, a police commissioner search, and ways of better serving our senior residents. They've also organized events celebrating Black History Month, Asian American Heritage Month, and they've organized a skilled trades fair, not to mention tonight's event. With the mayor's office reorganized in a way that works for our administration, it was time to build a team of department heads. This included a change in culture, breaking down silos, and ending isolation. Empowering department heads to work together to address city needs and to communicate openly with city council, so council could then make their decisions well-informed. I took the time to visit and understand the functions of each department, as well as what was working, identifying anywhere that there are challenges, and identifying the leaders with a common purpose for providing residents the best of services and being responsible stewards of our tax dollars. Now, department heads meetings are filled with energy, enthusiasm, and a continuous drive for improvement. I am all about the celebrations. So I asked our departments to provide statistics and accomplishments from so far this year. And as I composed the state of the city, I had the realization that if I included a comprehensive overview of each department, we may easily be here for 3 hours. And I was advised to keep it under 1. So instead, I'm exploring ways to feature each department on either social media or through a Citizens Academy that would provide residents the opportunity to visit city departments and take a deeper dive into city services. Well, we are well underway. I am not done building a team. There are key positions that we continue to work to fill. Serving the 3rd largest city in Michigan requires qualifications that are equal to the demand of these rigorous positions. Working together includes restoring relationships across communities and organizations that have been severed. I cannot begin to convey the number of times I've been received with appreciation for having worn in the room. While many community members expect the transition of administrations to be as quick as a flick of a light switch, when in all actuality, it's more like turning a steamship. While putting people in place, we also worked to establish policies and procedures. During my election campaign, there were several themes that were evident through repeated conversations in our community. Several areas of priorities came up again and again: public safety, parks and recreation, economic development, roads and infrastructure, and environmental sustainability. Early in the transition, I recognized the need to establish community expectations through community engagement. My team organized a listening tour to focus on each of these topics. They would create the opportunity for community members to express their concerns, questions, hopes, and expectations. Elected officials, department heads were all invited to sit and listen to residents, so their thoughts would be incorporated into solutions and responses. I recognize that while community conversations had been a community engagement tool I utilized routinely during my time in the legislature, Warren residents were not used to community engagement for input, feedback to local government. Many expressed that they were used to not feeling heard or listened to. And in part of leadership, my philosophy of listen, learn, lead. The first step is listen. Don't presume to know the needs of communities' wants until first seeking to understand. For example, take environmental sustainability. If the community's expectation is preserving and restoring green space, and the government instead offers electric vehicle charging stations, the community may very well be disappointed. While electric vehicle charging stations are consistent with environmental sustainability, it would be a failure of meeting community expectations. But working together, we gathered people, asked questions, and listened. And some ideas were easy to implement. Others will require larger funding sources or organizational change to implement. Overwhelmingly, our priority in our community is public safety. I am so proud to feature our fire department and our police department this evening. So far, in just 9 months, the statistics include 15,726 total incidents. 11,111 are medical emergencies, which is why our fire department, our firefighters, are cross-trained as paramedics. And we provide EMS rigs at each of our stations. 242 responses to fire suppressions, 592 motor vehicle accidents, 1,149 additional service calls. The Warren Fire Department is currently fully staffed with 142 positions filled. This is made possible through an innovative Grow Your Own Fire Cadet program that hires firefighter candidates, sponsors and supports them through the academies and preparation for earning their license. They get on-the-job experience in the fire stations and successfully have served 2 cohorts. Warren Fire has also submitted their 5-year evaluation conducted by ISO, the Insurance Service Organization. ISO is important because it evaluates our fire department, our water main systems, and our emergency dispatch center. This evaluation is used by insurance agencies to set your insurance rates for both commercial and residential properties. By having good response times and essential equipment, it improves outcomes. And in the long run, it saves community members dollars. Exciting, a long-awaited groundbreaking for Fire Stations 1 and 5 on December 21st of 2023. These are 2 stations that are roughly 70 years old and in much need of some additional elbow room. Construction on Fire Station 1 experienced some setbacks, but it is now on its way. Construction of Fire Station 5 got a head start. And definitely is an example of what to expect, of what to come. In addition to building 2 new fire stations, our existing 4 other fire stations received $1.2 million in refurbishment by replacing driveways, front and rear approaches, as well as parking lots. And the fire administration building was renovated and updated. Warren Fire Department received a $455,000 grant to provide firefighters with a second set of turnout gear. This is so important to the health and well-being of our firefighters. It reduces exposure to carcinogens by providing a change of gear. So after fires or chemical exposures, they can wash their gear before they have to wear it again. In addition to turnout gear, some essential equipment, which cost $1.2 million, was invested to replace the self-contained breathing apparatus. The department also took receipt of some long-awaited vehicles and equipment, including our new Quint fire truck, June of 2024, and the state-of-the-art training equipment that you see here, which was put into use. It is only the 126th of this equipment in the world. The mobile, adjustable, reusable, and multifaceted equipment allows training to replicate a variety of real-world conditions that would be encountered in the field. This apparatus will allow our department to be better equipped and better prepared. In addition, Warren's Fire Department paramedics were recognized with the American Heart Association's Gold Award for the 9th consecutive year, demonstrating success in implementing the highest level of pre-hospital care with the most up-to-date, evidence-based treatment guidelines to improve patient care and outcomes by identifying heart attacks and cerebrovascular stroke patients. Warren residents experiencing serious health emergencies have the best chance for good outcomes. Our fire department specializations require continuous training. Firefighter paramedics are there prepared to participate in highly specialized rescues. They operate technology such as drones that can provide information about structure fires, emergencies before they even get to a scene. Warren Fire has members with experience in flood rescue that has responded to national disasters as recently as Hurricane Helene. I'm very proud to know the level of skill the Warren Fire Department encompasses. We're so proud of you. And what's without a little friendly rivalry? Because our Warren Police Department is equally distinguished. They have earned their reaccreditation by the Michigan Association of Chiefs of Police, Michigan Law Enforcement Accreditation Program. Accreditation is a prestigious recognition that reflects the ongoing commitment to maintaining the highest standards of law enforcement, accountability, and community service. Warren Police Department is dedicated to serving and protecting our community with integrity and professionalism. Among our ranks, our police officers distinguish them every day with everyday acts of heroism. But several have rose with their acts to be recognized. 3 officers were recognized as 2024 Police Officers of the Year. Corporal Dan Rose, Officer David Chapman, observed an 8-year-old receiving a shock from a downed power line. Officers rushed to help the unconscious child laying in the street with still live power lines hanging above him. Upon seeing a child in danger, Officer Rose made a brave, selfless, and courageous decision to crawl under the downed line and pull the child out of harm's way. Officer Chapman assisted by grabbing a hold of the child and pulling him clear of the power lines. Officers transported the child in the patrol car so he could receive the medical attention he needed as quickly as possible. If not for the quick thinking and heroic actions, this child may not be here today. Officer Brendan Frazier, while performing routine traffic enforcement observed a vehicle traveling at a high rate of speed. And once he implemented a traffic stop, he noticed a driver frantically flagged him down and exclaimed that his 18-month-old nephew was not breathing. Officer Frazier remained calm and immediately took charge of the situation by performing back blows to clear the child's airway. After a few tense moments, the child began to breathe on his own. The child was rushed to Ascension Hospital, and by the next day, it was medically cleared and released. Officer Frazier acted decisively, empathetically, and heroically to save a life. And those acts of heroism don't end there. Additional 6 Warren police officers were honored by the Hundreds Club of Detroit with prestigious Valor Awards for heroic acts, including the actions of Officer Brendan Frazier. Officers Rusinski and Dinkel were dispatched to the residence of Warren regarding a domestic disturbance. The caller reported that a family member on scene was assaulting other family members. Sergeant Wolowitz arrived shortly after. An armed suspect aggressively advanced toward officers brandishing a handgun. Officers stopped the armed threat, handcuffed the suspect, and Sergeant Wolowitz began performing CPR until the Warren Fire Department could transport the suspect to the hospital. Officers Burke and Smith responded to a 911 call reporting a stabbing. Upon arriving at a scene quickly, officers recognized the victim was bleeding profusely from multiple penetrating stab wounds in his arm. Officers Burke and Smith rendered first aid by applying a tourniquet to stop bleeding. They kept the victim calm, gathered information until the arrival of the Warren Fire Department. Emergency room staff informed detectives that the quick and proper application of a tourniquet undoubtedly saved the victim's life. So many things are called upon our officers to do on a daily basis. Warren Police Department utilizes innovative training techniques, including implementing a driver's training simulator. Responding to calls for assistance requires drivers to be highly trained and knowledgeable about the laws. Warren Police Department brings in Oakland Community College's law enforcement training equipment regularly to reinforce best practices and skill refreshment. This is one more tool Warren has to prepare officers to anticipate conditions that they will encounter in the field. During Police Week, we as a community gather around to offer honor and remembrance and peer support while allowing law enforcement survivors, citizens the opportunity to gather and pay homage to those who gave their lives in the line of duty. And don't forget our fierce, furry officers, including retired K-9 Officer Cantor. Not long after retirement, K-9 Officer Cantor received a cancer diagnosis with the potential for treatment. The department and the community rallied to support the health of an officer that served to keep our community safe. We all wish Cantor a speedy recovery. Cantor is lovingly cared for by Officer Hofer and his family. Warren Police Department also welcomed their newest K-9 officers, Rip, Vinny, and Diesel. In addition to our department's, citizens play an important role in public safety here in Warren. Citizens have the opportunity to participate in a Citizens Police Academy, to walk in the shoes of our officers and what they experience every day. We also offer a Junior Detectives Academy for our young people who may be interested in a career pathway or just understanding better. In addition, public safety includes Community Emergency Response Team that augments our department's services by being able to help when we have down power lines due to storms, to secure accident scenes, as well as to help out with parades and the safety of large events. As well, we also have a crime commission that is comprised of residents that serve as an advisory body and liaison between the Warren Police Department. They share concerns about what they encounter in activity and trends in their community. They learn about the latest happening in the police department, and they volunteer at community events to share important information about safety. They host guest speakers on public safety issues and host town halls to educate and bring awareness to residents. We are so appreciative to have them. Warren Police worked together with the mayor's office, city council members, crime commission, chaplains to participate in some community policing outreach for the purpose of building relationships and partnerships in the community for prevention of criminal activity. And this will continue to grow robustly. This was a priority that our community members expressed. And when 2 children in our communities were grievously injured by accidental discharge of firearms in the home, I worked together with the police department and invited in Be Smart to educate community on the requirement for safe storage by responsible firearm owners, especially when children are present. And we can help to make our community a little safer by providing gun locks free of charge. We also have a long-standing tradition of coming together and offering a public safety day. It's fun, it's educational, it's interactive event for community members to learn from our police and fire departments. Kids and community members alike get to experience demonstrations with canine officers, experience a smokehouse experience that allows people to feel what it's like to have a room filled with smoke, reduced visibility, and practice escaping. Community can explore vehicles and technology that is employed to keep our community safe every day. But public safety is not the only priority in Warren. Parks and Recreation is our priority. We know that because during our listening tour stops, it was the stop with the greatest participation in community engagement. Warren's vast network of parks are truly our city's treasure. Community members use them every day to play and to walk. Pavilions are regularly booked for birthday parties, baby showers, graduation parties, business picnics, and family reunions. They're affordable and convenient. We have a lovely community center and recreation centers throughout the community as well. Number one concern we heard was access to bathrooms in parks. You can't pack in your kids and your family only to have to turn around if their basic needs aren't being met. Hearing that, our Parks Department responded by experimenting, piloting automatic locks that can unlock in the morning and lock in the evening when the park hours are over. We've had a lot of success. And we encourage any community members that may encounter problems with bathrooms to pick up their phone, give the department a call. They'll be there immediately to remedy that situation. There are a lot of good things happening. A new experience was Warren being highlighted and working with Detroit Tourism in a countdown to the NFL Draft. Warren Community Center transformed into a football, skills, and fun day for families in our community. And as weather warmed up, volunteers stepped up throughout the city, adopting parks for cleanup, and make sure Warren put our best face forward for everyone prepared to get out and play. We had over 100 volunteers and several departments participate, spread out over 29 parks. They helped to plant 200 carbon capturing trees in Shaw and Ridgewood Park, donated by a 4-H student with an interest in making a difference in climate sustainability for generations to come. Nathania understood the impact of a carbon footprint for the 3rd largest city in Michigan, and she chose to invest here in Warren. Let's take a further look at our parks. Every mile of Warren has a local park that is walkable and can be enjoyed by the neighborhood. While having nearly 30 parks poses challenges for funding, upkeep, and maintenance, the diversity of green spaces creates opportunities for unique experiences, creating destination parks through our city. Residents can go to a different park every day for a month and have a free, fun, outdoor experience. For example, Eckstein Park has completed phase 1 of installation of a state-of-the-art skate park. This facility will create a safe, inclusive skate experience in our community. It's also expected to attract interest regionally as well as nationally. Phase 2 will boast renovations to bathrooms, parking lot, pavilion, and public art. This is a long-anticipated, community-driven experience that residents are anxious to enjoy. Wiegand Park. Renovations started in the spring of 2024. Improvements will include restrooms, pavilion upgrades, new picnic areas, and a much-anticipated splash pad. Located at Topher and MacArthur, this roughly $1.7 million project will be funded through Community Development Block Grants and Capital Improvement Funds. Utilizing $600,000 from a $1.5 million enhancement grant, Licht Park received a comprehensive renovation, including new ADA-compliant play structure, restoration of an asphalt walking path, improvement of park drainage, and these will complete previous renovations to bathrooms and pavilion. There we go. Already visitors to Veterans Memorial Park frequently encounter disc golf players enjoying the course and people playing on sand volleyball courts. The latest upgrades benefiting from $900,000 enhancement grant funding of renovation to replace a previous play structure that had deteriorated from use and time. With the new ADA compliant Ninja Warrior styled challenge skill features, as well as a climber design for the use of Warren's youngest residents. Also, for any pickleball players in the crowd, Veterans Memorial Park is planned to have upgrades that include the installation of pickleball courts. Oops. Gotta love technology. Our much beloved Owen Jacks Community Center has been reopened with programming during the day. It is served as a cooling center during the summer heat wave. Owen Jacks has also hosted a community block party working together with Consumers Energy to focus on safety, energy, and fun for over 500 community participants. Warren Police and Fire Department stepped up and joined the fun, showcasing the latest in equipment, technology, and vehicles. And Warren's Birthday Bash provided an opportunity for residents to celebrate with live music performance, free kids area activities, food trucks, carnival rides, a fantastic fireworks display, and the first ever drone show that delighted attendees. Left them howling at the moon. Additional improvements you can expect to encounter throughout our city include a complete renovation to the baseball diamond restroom facilities at Hallmich Park, repair and replacement of fountain pumps to improve the enjoyment during summer fun and relief from heat at the City Square Fountain, and received an award of $400,000 in grant funding for park development and renewal for Shaw Park, with more improvements to come. Our Parks and Recreation Department is always looking for new and innovative opportunities to provide entertainment. And this year, they added a City Square Street Fair, where community members could enjoy the wonderful fall weather, bringing food trucks, vendors, and activities together to enjoy. If you haven't paid a visit to this lovely event, you have one more opportunity Wednesday, October 23rd. I applaud the innovation of incorporating new ideas and activities in our Parks and Recreation Department. Economic development. Economic development, investment, and establishment of businesses are part of the lifeblood of any community. Businesses provide essential goods and services for people living in the community. Businesses are employers that provide jobs, income, benefits, and the standard of living. Businesses are tax-paying members of our community that fuel and fund government investment in roads, infrastructures, downtown development, and reinvestment. Residents want growth instead of stagnation, investment instead of businesses leaving. They want options and opportunities, and they would prefer to have the convenience of businesses, shopping, restaurants, and entertainment closer to home instead of leaving to spend their money in other communities. Warren would also love to be a destination community where people come for entertainment, shopping, and meals. A place where friends and family cannot wait to come hang out and spend some time. Listening to conversations in our community, I think people will be pleasantly surprised to learn that 300 commercial certificates of compliance were issued to businesses in the first 9 months of this year. That is roughly one business a day for the last 9 months. These are new tenants, new buildings, and new opportunities. These businesses are opening in every corner of our community and representing a vast array of industries. Since taking office, I've had the privilege of celebrating grand openings, ribbon cuttings, grand reopenings with businesses in Warren. Businesses like Shad Deshi Cuisine. Shad is a delicious, flavorful buffet of Bangladeshi favorites with halal options. Looking for somewhere to stop on your lunch hour or family dinner? Try Shad. Speedy Clean Coin Laundry off of Hoover, north of 12 Mile, held their grand reopening and ribbon cutting after completing renovations and upgrades to their business. It's so clean and inviting. With machines that are big enough, I am convinced that I can fit a week's worth of laundry in just one load. Ariel's Furniture is located off of 8 Mile. I first met Ariel when she volunteered at a table during the African American Heritage Month celebration. Ariel shared that while her background was in nursing, a personal passion for interior design and a flair for style inspired her to open her furniture business. Her business had endured struggles with construction disruptions along 8 Mile. A grand reopening and ribbon cutting was one way that both celebrating an anniversary and the opening of her doors, as well as boosting visibility for success. We welcomed Hyatt's Pharmacy in an endeavor to expand healthcare services in Warren that serves the needs not only of Bangladeshi population, but the greater health of our community. And they even boast prescription delivery. Who does that these days? I had the opportunity to welcome Afra's collection, which offers traditional Bangladeshi clothing as well as tailoring services. The store was named in honor of his adorable daughter, Afra. She definitely has a fashion point of view and loves the color black. It welcomes Pop Chicken Made Fresh at their grand opening and ribbon cutting this summer. Pop Chicken offers chicken made fresh along with a fusion of Asian favorites. Pop Chicken has also added a food truck, so you never know where you're going to come across them. This is just the newest tenant for the 168 group, investors that have redeveloped the property along DeQuinder that was formerly Produce Palace. Stop by and grab a bite at Pop Chicken, or a bubble tea at R&B Tea. Stop by 88 Banh Mi for authentic Vietnamese fusion-inspired dishes. And check out 168 Nail Supply Retail, providing a wide range of nail products and supplies. I'm sure it won't be long before we open the next business along DeQuinder. Recently, I had the pleasure of attending Young Supply Company's grand opening for their new distribution center that was relocated to Warren. They took a blighted property, completely renovated, and remediated it. The new distribution center is more than 4 football fields under one roof. Young Supply Company services both commercial and residential HVAC, refrigeration, food service equipment, and is a part-time wholesaler. They are proud of their new home in Warren. Economic development is not just about new businesses in Warren. We celebrate continued investment and reinvestment. My team visited GM Tech Center to tour the Wallace Battery Cell Innovation Center. In order to adapt to constant evolution in automotive and mobility industry, GM is conducting research and development into improving electric vehicle battery technology. In addition, Warren Police and Fire Departments are developing a relationship, proud to work with GM to identify opportunities to utilize industrial buildings for training before demolition as the campus reconfigures to meet their needs. What can we look forward to in economic development in Warren? Well, Warren's Economic Development Director has been working with MyHealth on investment and development on the Van Dyke Corridor. MyHealth is developing plans for a mixed-use property that would include urgent care facility on the ground level with a couple floors of residential above, along the lines of this artistic rendering. MyHealth and urgent care qualified for $1.8 million in the revitalization and placemaking grant from the Michigan Economic Development Corporation. The Downtown Development Authority purchased land that can be used to make Warren a more walkable and accessible community by connecting Warren's historic village district to the community center with a bridge from Chicago Road across the Red Run Drain. The Army Corps of Engineers conducted a feasibility survey, and next we are exploring grant opportunities for funding. A new community-based imagining of how our town center should be developed so it reflects the wants and needs of what is uniquely Warren. In order for this to be effective, we need your participation. A series of community meetings will be held in coming months for residents to contribute thoughts on what you want to see included. If you know of a business owner looking for a place to open, set up shop, or expand, then please refer them to our Economic Development Director. He can help match them with locations, connect them with federal and state economic development opportunities that they may be eligible for. But we're not done yet. Roads and infrastructure. Warren's roads are perhaps the most visible infrastructure in the city. Residents work with the city by reporting potholes, poor road conditions, and road maintenance, repair, and conditions come with a few challenges, including hundreds of lane miles throughout the city from primary, secondary, and local roads. The large expense for rehabilitation and restoration of roads is a hefty ticket, and so I must express my gratitude for the voters of Warren that have committed to continuing funding road work over the next 20 years. Your commitment allows the city to plan projects and funding farther out instead of piecemeal, so thank you. Roads are a network of responsibility when it comes to level of government. Who's responsible for maintaining and paying for improvements, not to mention the layers of infrastructure underneath our roads? Working together with City Council, we have committed to funding the underground infrastructure as roads are replaced, so investment in roads will not be undone by water main breaks, as well as committing to fund the next generation of technology for incineration with the wastewater treatment process. In order to better educate the community and provide answers to frequently asked questions, City Council President Angela Rogancy, working together with City Engineer Tina Gapshis, delivered a Rhodes Town Hall breaking down these essentials. The link to this recording is still available to anyone who missed it and is interested in learning more. Infrastructure works best when residents don't have to think twice about where your water comes from or where it's going. It's when water mains breaks and water isn't flowing from your taps. It's also when rain events are so intense that they overwhelm our sewer system and cause flooding. This year, Warren experienced 3 extreme rain events so intense that it filled our underground infrastructure faster than it could drain downstream. But fortunately, forethought and planning anticipated such challenges and led to the building of the Stevens Road Retention Basin. It is very close to being finished, and fingers crossed that it will be done before any other significant rain events happen. It can hold 21.5 million gallons, roughly 1 day's processing at our wastewater treatment plant. Warren will be able to divert water from sewers in order to free up space for water from intense downpours and create the opportunity for our sewers to travel downstream instead of backing up into basements. Once water levels reduce, water can be pumped out of the basin, back into the sewers, and out into our watershed. Additional infrastructure includes hundreds of miles of sidewalks. The burden of being able to fund these critical infrastructure improvements is enduring construction that changes traffic patterns, and I appreciate the patience and flexibility on adapting. For the safety of workers, for the continuous flow of traffic, it is important to be aware of changing road conditions. Environmental sustainability. Our community recognizes that climate changes are impacting our community in a variety of ways, including more frequent intense rain events and extreme weather fluctuations. Overwhelmingly, tree canopy, native plants, butterfly gardens, and pollinators were among the priorities expressed as desired being incorporated into city planning. Rain gardens, bioswales, rain barrels, retention basins are among the asks for managing stormwater runoff. My administration and City Council are working together on Warren's Climate Action Plan. City Council, the Mayor's Office, City Departments, Michigan DNR, Macomb County Parks are working together on implementing a tree ordinance with the goal improving tree canopy from the 19% of current coverage. We invite residents of Warren to join in these efforts of planting trees. In observance of Arbor Day and Earth Day, the City of Warren provided 200 saplings free of charge to residents. And as part of implementing the city's Greenway Plan, key members of the administration, including Planning, Engineering, Parks and Recreation, Department of Public Works, and Councilman Noonan, were joined by consultants from Michigan's DNR and Macomb County Parks with backgrounds in forestry to tour locations that are public rights of way where trees can be added. Discussion about recommended species that could be beneficial in our community, the need for diversifying planting trees in order to prevent disease and infestation, and the first stretch of Hayes Road Boulevard between Martin and 12 Mile was planted this spring with 30 trees, working together with Second Nature Brands, who generously provided trees and volunteers through their commitment to global reforestation. Warren has applied for roughly $225,000 in grants to continue planting trees and repopulating our public spaces. If residents would like the city to help provide a tree for your easement at no cost to you, please contact our Department of Public Works. Growing tree canopy is going to take everyone in this city working together. Working together with Tree City USA initiative for our 10th year, we have committed to continuing our designation. We are working with community leaders across the state, and I have signed on to the Mayor's Monarch Pledge and delivered a Pollinators Proclamation committing to proactive practices and the improvement of conditions for Warren's ecosystems and our community habitats. So when Cub Scout Troop reached out and offered to plant a butterfly garden, you better believe we found a patch where they could plant. When Warren residents approached me with a desire to see more native plants being incorporated into public and private landscaping, I empowered them to put together a proposal for what a public garden of native plants would look like, including costs, a design, and a commitment of volunteers to provide planting and upkeep. Warren's first native plant garden was established on Beebe, and I'm so excited to see a community initiative take root as an example to everyone else in our community. I've recently had more residents reaching out with interest in establishing community gardens and other green initiatives. While Warren has a ways to go on environmental sustainability, I'd like to think we're heading in the right direction together. Above policies, Warren is a place for placemaking. In addition to conversations in our community that have had a commitment to placemaking where people belong. We are Warren. A uniquely Warren characteristic is the incredible diversity that doesn't just coexist, it is a commitment that Warren is an inclusive place to live. We learn from each other, we celebrate how our diversity makes us stronger. Our community outreach team has organized, worked with, supported, participated in events that help everyone who calls Warren home feel heard, seen, included, and represented, including our Martin Luther King Day observation, a February Black History Month celebration with community vendors, art, and a who's who of Black history trivia, a proclamation delivered celebrating the International Transgender Day of Visibility, whose originator is a resident of Warren. An Asian American heritage celebration brought our community together through food, fashion, and dance. Our second annual observation of Juneteenth. Our first ever Pride event in Warren. And not to be outdone by a Polish Day parade. Not to mention awareness events and proclamations. Autism awareness, gun violence prevention, Pitt-Hopkins syndrome. September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, Overdose Awareness Day. And last but not least, when a hometown team wins a state basketball championship, we celebrate. So congratulations to Lincoln High School's boys basketball team. I am proud to lead a team and to work together across a community. Along the walls are posters that represent the many departments that are hard at work every day for residents in our community. I can't walk by them without thinking of the Sesame Street song, "Who are the people in your neighborhood?" These are the people who show up, deliver services, and work hard for our community every day. And I'm proud to stand with them and work with them. The state of our city is resoundingly resilient. So thank you again for joining me this evening for the State of the City, for some insights on how we are working together for Warren. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you.
Step out. Testing. Please step out in the hallway, enjoy the rest of the food we have, network a little bit, make a friend, and again, thanks for coming.
You shout it out, but I can't hear a word you say. I'm talking loud, not saying much. I'm criticized, but how your bullets ricochet. Shoot me down, but I get up. I'm bulletproof, nothing to lose. Far away, ricochet. You take your aim. Far away. You shoot me down, but I won't fall. I am titanium. You shoot me down, but I won't fall. I am titanium. Cut me down, but it's you who have further to fall. Ghost town, haunted love. Raise your voice, sticks and stones may break my bones. Talking loud, not saying much. I'm bulletproof, nothing to lose. Far away, ricochet. You take your aim. Far away. You shoot me down, but I won't fall. I am titanium. You shoot me down, but I won't fall. I am Stone heart, machine gun, fire like the ones who run. Stone heart, love's bulletproof glass. You shoot me down, but I won't fall. I am titanium. You shoot me down, but I won't fall. I am
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here. You can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space. With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is.